تمسك بحبل الله واتبع الهدى ولا تك بدعيا لعلك تفلح.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It's your boy Muhab. Bismillah walhamdulillah.
We're back.
والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Welcome back to another episode on Journey to Bliss. Our boys, how's everyone doing, man?
Alhamdulillah,
bro. Can't complain. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
The first video been out for how long now?
I think
Couple weeks?
18 days, bro.
No,
it was almost 3 weeks.
18 days.
Almost 3
Wait.
weeks. I saw like 2 days
Was
ago.
it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks?
No, it's almost.
You
3
just watched
weeks.
it right now?
No.
It's
I saw
probably
it like
the
a
10th
couple
time.
days ago.
Probably the 10th
It's
time.
almost 3 weeks, bro. Allahumma barik, bro.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Try to be consistent, inshallah.
Inshallah, if you guys have any feedback, please let us know in the comments or on Instagram, whatever.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, at the end of the day, we're trying to benefit everybody, so...
First ourselves, huh?
Huh?
First ourselves.
To be honest, yeah.
First of the ummah, inshallah.
Yeah, so we're trying to make sure, yeah, exactly.
Inshallah. We're missing somebody again. Who we're missing today?
The friendly giant, bro.
Friendly giant.
Hey, but I think they know him now, bro. Alhamdulillah, he posted on the story. So
Yeah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
he needs to come on the podcast, bro. He has to.
Inshallah, next time.
Next time.
Next time,
Inshallah.
We're gonna force him.
Inshallah, today the topic is haram relationships. Haram relationships. This is what we see a lot in the West, right? So we see a lot in the West, bro. Especially the youth, between the youth and stuff like this. I think this is an important, big topic we need to talk about. Inshallah. What do y'all got, man?
Really look at me.
I think there's no better way to start. There's no better way to start without mentioning the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right?
So,
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. Right? He says, do not come near zina. So subhanAllah, you see many prohibitions that Allah gives us in the Quran, such as do not steal, do not backbite, do not kill one another, right? Many prohibitions in the Quran. But for this one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not come near it. He didn't say do not do zina. Rather, he says do not come near it. So what are ways you can come near zina? What are ways you can come near zina?
SubhanAllah, it could be anything. Texting. That could be one form of coming close to zina.
Yeah. Starts off with texting, and then... you wanna-
Before texting, there's something that starts it, which is the wandering eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, but yes.
So before you even, I mean, if you didn't know how she or he looks, you wouldn't be interested. So the wandering eyes, I feel like, especially now in the West, it's hard where
SubhanAllah, I
everyone's.
think that's the most important one. SubhanAllah.
Yeah. So the wandering eyes, I would say.
SubhanAllah.
How about you, big
I was
brother?
gonna say the eyes.
Don't steal my answer.
I was gonna say the
You
eyes.
steal
No.
my answer.
What was the ayah? SubhanAllah.
But-
وَقُلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. SubhanAllah. They say to the believers to lower their gaze. SubhanAllah. What are you gonna say?
I think that's it. You guys
Yeah,
got it.
SubhanAllah. Yeah, I think like SubhanAllah, it all starts from the gaze, yani. You know, first you look, and then after that, even saying salam, you know, from there, it slowly leads to, yani, the matter of zina, yani, SubhanAllah. It's a big issue, Allah. I'm sure we all heard the story of, what's his name? What is it?
Barasisa.
SubhanAllah. I'm sure we all heard that story, yani, you know. What was it? It was a righteous, pious man.
So you have to
Yeah, SubhanAllah.
story time.
It was a righteous, pious man, I think, that lived. And so I think there was 2 brothers. It was 2 brothers and a sister. Allah, I don't remember like exactly all the details, but I'll give you the general. It was 2 brothers and they had their sister. And the 2 brothers had to go to fight for war, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
They had to go fight for jihad. And then they needed somebody to be able to protect their sister. So what they did is, like, you know, they know nobody else. They didn't know nobody else but this righteous person, Dorsisa. So they went to him and they said, can you come and protect or be protected for our sister until we come back? He was like, first he said, no, you know, I can't do this, whatever, I can't be by myself and all this. And then subhanAllah, I think Shaitan came to him. He was like, you know, just do it, and you don't even have to go in. Just give him food or something like that, right?
Like let her live, like in a
Give her a room in the...
near,
Yeah.
Yeah, subhanAllah. So then after that, he went to the brothers. He said, okay, I'll take care of her. So the brothers went to jihad. They went to go fight. And then what happened after was, slowly, first he started to go and just give her food and just leave. You knock on the door, give her food and leave. After that, Shaitan came to him. He's like, you know what, why don't you just step inside, you know? Go inside, give it to her with your hands. So he started doing that. Next thing was, why don't you just open the door, knock on the door, let her open. And Allah, I don't remember exactly, but slowly, step by step, it got to the point that Shaitan just told him, just go in the room with her. Go into the room. And it led to them committing zina. After that, slowly they got a baby. So when this happened, he had to do something about it, So they said that he killed the baby and he buried the baby, and I think he also killed her too.
Yeah. He killed the baby and buried the baby in the room where he committed the zina. And then he left her though. But then Shaitan came to him. You're gonna kill the child of a mother, and the mother not gonna complain to her brothers? She's gonna do it too. So he went and then he killed her. And then he dug the 2 graves.
Well, better story told.
No, go ahead.
And then after that, the 2 brothers came back. They were asking for the sister, for the sister, because they didn't know about the baby. They were asking for the sister. So then he just said, she died or whatever. This is where she's buried and stuff. So then after that, when they went to sleep, I think one of the brothers got a dream. He got a dream. Shaitan, I think, came to him and said that your sister's buried under here. So I think he got that repetitively. And then after that, he went. He actually digged up that grave that Shaitan was telling him about in his dream, and he found her sister, and there was a baby with her too. So then he went, and then they went to BarakAllahu. And subhanAllah, the story continues, but basically this is the principle of this time.
You gotta end with how he ended his life.
That's the way.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah, I don't remember that part. Exactly.
He was going to get for the murder of the child and the woman. He got sentenced to the capital punishment, which is So when he was waiting the punishment to be carried out, Shaitan came to him and said, if you make sajda to me,
subhanAllah,
I will
that was a crucial point.
ease you of this punishment that can happen. So he said, okay, fine. So he went in sajda, and when he went into sajda, Allah took his soul, and he died prostrating to Shaitan. And I think this ayah or this story is mentioned by Ibn Kathir in his tafsir for the ayah in Surah Hashr. وقال الشيطان للإنسان يكفر فلما كفر قال إني بريء. So this ayah that when Shaitan told the man to, or the man to what, say it?
Prostrate?
No, ikfur.
To
disbelieve. فلما كفر, when he disbelieved, he said إني بريء, I'm free from you. So, and this is a man who was a abid, zahid, who was a very pious man. And then his state on how he passed away was that he died prostrate to Shaitan. Now, if we were to ask him, could you ever make sajda to Shaitan? He would say, what? No. Never. But the temptation of a woman is strong. And you just, and when it's not halal, the only that comes from it is just pain.
Yeah.
And his pain was that, and now he has to be in hellfire forever.
It shows you that you can have it to the best of us.
Yes.
Like, he's a sheikh, well known in the community. He was, just like you said, a zahid. I think in the story it mentions like 60 or 7 years he would always be prostrating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So then look where he was, then look how he ended his life. So it can happen to the best of us. Like I feel like a lot of us, we think, it can't happen to me. It can't happen to me. I know this, I know that, but that's how Shaitan works, step by step, until he disbelieves.
It is off topic, but there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. He says that a man may live his whole life, and then at the end he might do action with the people of hellfire, and he'll be in hellfire. And he was good his whole life, and then a man may be doing the actions of the people of hellfire for his whole life, and at the end he might do action of the people of Jannah and enter Jannah.
Exactly.
So, subhanAllah, it shows that may Allah give us a good ending.
But also, sorry, you were going to say something? Also, it doesn't mean that if you do fall into this stuff, that you can't go ask for forgiveness. Like, even though in the story of Rasisa, at that point, if he asked for forgiveness, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive his sins. But he didn't. He still was trying to find another way out until he did what he did at the end of the day. Just remember, any action you do, how big it is, how small it is, you can always go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. It doesn't matter what it is.
Takes us to a point, back to the ayah, لا تقربوا الزنا. Don't get close to zina. This is how it is, Shaitan works with you step by step, especially as a man, we all know the temptation for a woman is strong, So it can start off just like they said, by just looking. From there, it's like, okay, let me just go give her salam. From there, it's like, let me just go shake her hand. And then just keeps going, and she's going, just like a snowball effect, as they say. And then you get to the point where you're stuck in a place, in a predicament, as they say, that you can't get out of, SubhanAllah.
So, like I just mentioned, like, this Barsisa here, in his mind, he's not thinking, I'm getting closer to zina. Because when you text a girl, you obviously know that what you're doing is haram.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you try to approach her and talk to her in public, you obviously know there's not something that you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But Barsisa, he's doing something khair, actually. He's taking care of someone whose brothers are not there to take care of her. Feeding her food. Making sure she's okay. He's doing khair in his eyes. But this khair, shaitan corrupted it because of the temptation of women. So, the people whose situation is not the same as Barsisa, people who are not trying to, or they might make an excuse that, I'm trying to help her with her deen or something. I remember in the Salaf they say that don't be alone with women even if you're teaching her Quran. Even if you're teaching her Quran, don't be alone with her. So now imagine someone else who's teaching her how to play games or something.
Wasn't there one of the Salaf that said, like, I'm afraid even of a woman to be with I'm afraid to be alone with a woman that's even in her old age or something like that.
Yeah,
that's 80
yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that.
Say.
Yeah. SubhanAllah, it's crazy.
Like, as you can see on SubhanAllah, like, Shaitan, he has a PhD in his field, right? So all it takes is these baby steps. Okay, look, just text her. You're going to give her da'wah. Sometimes you might be texting someone that's not even a Muslim, for example. You can say, okay, she's good, she has a good heart. I'm going to try to make her a better Muslim. How do you know, man? How do you know this? As I said, this is the trap of Shaitan. This is the trap of Shaitan. It goes to that texting. Then after that, okay, I'm going to meet her. I'm just going to, try to greet her, get to know her better. Until you fall into this trap of zina. And zina, as they say, subhanAllah, correct me if I'm wrong, they say once you fall into zina, you're not a Muslim at that point. No?
The iman is hovering over the body.
So at that specific time you're committing that.
Yeah.
And why would you risk that? Why would you put yourself in this kind of jeopardy? Right? Like, to me, this is very scary. Like, imagine if you die at that very moment. And you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the state of zina. Like, how disgusting is that?
Like, we all been to high school. You know how it is here. High school, middle school. And we've seen the things that the youth, I guess, go through,
The youth, or the youth?
The youth. Good one, I like that. The youth. But, so we've seen all this stuff, right? And as we said, the shaitan, he plays tricks upon people. And especially in this young age, people don't have the right minds, or they don't know exactly, they don't have the knowledge to be able, they don't have the knowledge equipped to be able to move away from that. So if somebody's already in a haram relationship, what advice would y'all give, man? What can y'all say for this person how can they get out of this? Somebody's already inside a haram relationship. How are they able to get up? That's how advice y'all give.
It's not for great members to speak before the elders. So. Go ahead.
I'm the youngest one here, but what are you talking about?
Go ahead, what do you think?
You're putting me on the spot like that?
Yeah.
What was it? Say it again, the question.
So if somebody's already in a haram relationship, as we know, the West, we see in high schools, we see in middle schools, even in colleges, and people are so deep into this, they're so involved in this. People already might be in a haram relationship, they're trying to get out of it. How can they do this?
I think somebody who has experience needs to speak on that.
I'm trying to say, why are you looking this way?
Why are you looking around the table?
Anybody have experience?
I don't.
Look, I don't have experience. I don't have experience with the haram relationship, but we have experience about being around this.
Yeah.
We have experience about being around this.
We've all been in public schools, so
Yeah,
we know how it is.
I'll say,
Who trying to put someone on the spot?
from my experiences about from being around these type of environments, and shaitan coming and playing tricks upon me and stuff like this too. Alhamdulillah, I never was in a haram relationship. Alhamdulillah, Allah protected me from that. Allah protected me from that. Alhamdulillah, may Allah protect everyone that's always watching and is watching too. But I would say it always goes back to one point. For me, I see it as like, especially as a youth, in this environment, the hardest thing is peer pressure, right? So for you to be able to overcome things like this, you have to have good friends around you. This is how I see it. And you have to have good friends.
He's already in it.
Yes, he's already in it. Now for you to get out, you have to have people around you who are not pushing you to still stay in this. Because as we know in high school, what happens? It's like, bro, why don't you go talk to her? Look, she talks to you. She texted you, right? Just go talk to her, bro. She wants you. She's this, whatever it is, right? But if you have good friends around you, this good friend will never push you to do something like this, right? And I'll give you a prime example. I mean, Khalid, may Allah bless him. He was with me, you know. He was with me in school. Alhamdulillah, we went to the same school, and in high school. I think, what was it, 3 years together or something in the same school. And all the time, alhamdulillah, I'm not gonna talk about exactly what happened, but a lot of things happen, and we're there for one another, you know. Like, you know, don't do this, for instance, don't do this. And then you find other friends who you're kind of around sometimes. They're the ones who will come like, bro, why don't you just go do this? Why don't you do that? And you'll sit and tell me like, bro, I can't do that. I'm a Muslim. And they'll be like, bro, what are you talking about? Bro, just go do it. You know, they push you. But if I didn't have, for instance, somebody like Khalid next to me, he's not pushing me towards it, or he's taking me away from this. First, Allah. But after that, if I didn't have somebody like Khalid, it would have been much harder, you know, to be by myself and standing my ground. And all my friends, everyone around me is telling me, just go talk to her, just go do this, or, you know, she wants you, or all this. So I say the first thing is the friends rule. And you try to befriend people around you who are not pushing you against this. And even if you're already inside one, the first step you should take is try to look for people around you who are good. And then slowly they will help you get out of this situation, you know, instead of indulging you more in this.
I thought before we talk about how much of that, what are some ways that one can avoid them? So we mentioned lowering the gaze. Because lowering the gaze is you don't know evil until you see it and you want to do it. For instance, you wouldn't know about cigarettes if you didn't see someone smoking it. Or you wouldn't know about all these stuff without seeing with your eyes, you know? So, or hearing with your ears. So, lowering your gaze is essential. Put that aside. What are the next things that one may do that may lead to a haram relationship? I feel like the biggest one in the West is being alone with them. Because in the West, you see them everywhere. You see the opposite gender everywhere. Whether you're a sister or your brother, you see the opposite gender everywhere. School, marketplace, masjid, everywhere you see them. So, what are some ways that you can avoid? How do I put this in words? Or in a sentence? What are some ways that you can avoid trying to be close to them? If that makes sense. For instance, we know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, no man or woman are together alone except that shaitan is their third. Right? So, khalwa, being in seclusion with them is prohibited. But in the West, you go to school. Sometimes you have to be partnered up. So what are ways that you can limit this interaction that you have with the opposite gender?
I'll say, stand your ground as being a Muslim. Show your identity.
There you go. Elaborate.
I think that's a strong one because from the beginning, when you cut it off from the beginning, like for instance, say a girl wants to shake your hand, for instance. You're like, I don't shake hands, I'm a Muslim. This, now everyone in the class knows that you don't shake hands, they're not going to come close to you, you know? No, any woman, or most of the women they're going to try to not come close to you. They know your identity, they know you're a Muslim, you don't shake hands, right? But most of us, what happens is we say we're Muslim, but then we do everything that a Muslim wouldn't do, right? They'll shake their hands, they'll text, they'll do whatever. So even if it comes down to this, okay, they're going to sit you with a girl, whatever, you try your best. You can even tell her politely. It doesn't have to be in a rude way. You tell her politely, hey, look, I'm a Muslim, I would rather work with a man. You know, I can't be by myself in seclusion with a woman, whatever it is. So I say, show your identity as a Muslim. This would be the best thing.
For me, I think, unfortunately, the reality is a lot of the Muslim youth in public schools or in schools in general, they don't have that in them. They don't have that courage or whatever it is. That's the reality.
That confidence.
They don't have that confidence.
I'm a Muslim.
Yeah, relax, like vice versa. I said here. Vice versa. And when they're in middle school, high school, they're trying to fit in, which brings up another topic that we need to have a whole separate podcast about. I think the issue of fitting in is what starts it also. It's because like nowadays, it's cool to have a girlfriend, to have a boyfriend.
Or to do zina, yeah.
Or to do that. Like,
they
boast about it now.
Yeah.
They boast about it. Like, oh, bro, I got 1 or 2, whatever it is. You know?
Dang, you got 1 or 2?
No. I'm just saying, like, I was hooked up with this girl, hooked up with that girl. It's a cool thing. The more number you have, the cooler you are in the society, which is
There's degrading, subhanAllah.
Exactly, subhanAllah. So it leads to the issue of fitting in. But tying that back to what you were saying earlier, to solve that issue of fitting in, it goes back to having friends, choosing good friends. Just like the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, good friends are like a cologne shop or perfume shop. You go inside the shop, even if you don't buy nothing, you'll come out smelling good. So when you have a good friend, even if you're around them, maybe you have your own sins that you're doing, you have your own issues, but when you're around them, eventually you'll get something good from them, even if it's one or two things.
Yeah.
And a bad friend is like going to a blacksmith. Was it correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Blacksmith. So when you go just around him, you'll come out full of ash and dirty and stuff like that. So don't say, I'm good, my friends are bad, they won't affect me. They're going to affect you. If it's not now, it's going to be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's going to be sometime in the future. So
hadith Prophet, لا تصاحب إلا مؤمنا.
Exactly.
Don't befriend except for a mu'min. He didn't say Muslim. The Prophet didn't use Muslim. He said mu'min, believer. Because if your friend has high iman, it will affect you positively.
Exactly.
You want to be like him. But if he has low iman, it's going to affect you negatively. Because if for instance, they say like if you're friends with, as soon as you say this word like a bum, people will assume that you're the same thing. So
it's also the same.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it's also the same that if you want to know somebody, look at his 5 closest friends. So it.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Well, yeah. This guy Khalid is quite. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna
Give us some benefit.
Another thing, guys. Alhamdulillah. Allah also says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله. First, be fearful of Allah, be conscious of Allah, وكونوا مع الصادقين, and be with those who are truthful.
Exactly.
Right? So it goes back to having righteous friends. Like I don't know, would you guys say it's courage that the Muslims are lacking, or is it that the society in today's day and age kind of like normalized it? Because for example, if you were to go back home in Sudan, Somalia, or any third world country, this is حاجة غريبة. Very, very, very weird. Now it's coming. It's coming up.
SubhanAllah now.
I mean, maybe 5-10 years ago, it's something very strange to say, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't at all come to your parents and say, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Now today, it's very in the West. That's what I'm saying. So, do you guys think it's courage, or do you think just society these days normalizes it?
I think it's a
Allah,
little
or
bit
it's
of both.
both.
I think it's a little bit of both.
It's both because they're normalizing it. Now it takes courage for you to stand against it. Because it's so normalized, and especially for the Muslim, you have to have courage to be able to say, look, this is not something that I believe in. It's not something that I do, and I'm not gonna get close to it.
Yeah.
But now, because this is who you are, you have to find ways that you can prevent that from coming out your ways. Like Munzi said, the friends is one way that you can prevent it. To make yourself, try to get that courage. I guess I think it was a good way.
Yeah, because like when you're the only one in your whole school, for example, that is trying to do it the halal way or trying to do good. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say eventually he's gonna get to you. You're like, bro, everybody has a girlfriend. I don't have one. He's gonna make you feel bad. Maybe not. Maybe in the beginning, like SubhanAllah, like in the beginning, you have that courage inside of you. But then over time, when you see you're the only one by yourself, and outside of school you don't have those close Muslim friends and stuff like that, you're just by yourself, eventually I feel like it's going to get to you. It's going to get to you. So SubhanAllah, I feel like it's having the right people around you is very, very crucial, because
you just said something that reminded me of hadith. You said, everybody has the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تكن إماع.
Exactly.
Don't be imma. What is this word? Someone who just does stuff just because other people are doing it.
Yeah.
They go right, you go right. They ask you why you go right. Because they went right. Don't be like, this is like a person with a weak personality.
Yeah.
Who can't stand on their own 2 feet. That whatever trends, they follow it. This person does not benefit no one, and he doesn't get benefit because he doesn't know why he's doing this stuff. He's doing it because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah. So
he neither brings benefit to anyone, nor does he get benefit from it. Perhaps he may become harmed because of this. So this type of mentality, or especially a lot of the Muslim youth have it in schools.
Yeah.
For instance, if they see one Muslim brother or sister standing on their ground, they say, "No, I don't." The Prophet said that I don't touch women, so I'm not going to touch women.
Yeah.
The other Muslim youth, before the non-Muslims come to him and say, "Hey," they will come to him and say, "You're weird."
Yeah.
And this is from the the weird, I don't know how to explain it, but the paradox that we live in, where the Muslim that's supposed to support the Muslim will be the first to criticize them for doing something that's Islamic. It's because this inferiority complex has kind of seeped its way in, whether they know it or not.
Yeah, well, if anything, it just humiliates you even more. It makes yourself even look more ugly. Wallah, like you're just following trends and like not standing your ground and just trying to be with everybody else. Wallah, just you humiliate yourself. If anything, I mean, no girl is gonna like you, to be honest. And that's not our goal. That's not the goal.
Yeah.
But into you're trying to go for the girls. You want the girls to like you. You want the people to say, oh, he's good looking, he's strong, he's this, he's that. Well, if anything, you're gonna go like this. You're gonna go down to the floor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and what's the benefit of a haram relationship? What does it bring? Does it bring you happiness? It may bring it for 1 year or 2 years, but these people dating each other for 2 weeks. They're dating for 2 weeks, then they break up, and then they move on to the next one. Yani she becomes heartbroken, or he becomes heartbroken, and then now she assumes the worst of every guy that comes after this guy, or he assumes the worst of every girl that comes after her. What did you get from it? Only the thing that you got from it is that now you hate men, or now you hate women. You can't trust men, or you can't trust women. You assume the worst of any potential person that comes to you. If let's say a brother comes to you acting with pure intention, listen, I want to talk to your father about this, whatever. You assume the worst of him because why? 10 years ago, Khalid broke your heart. Not this Khalid, random guy. Broke your heart 10 years ago. Sorry, sir. I should have chosen another name.
just wait after the podcast.
You know, what did you get from it? You know, and then now that you see that when they end it badly, and most of the time, 98% of the time it does, she will go trash his name and he will go trash her name. He will call her the worst of names. That's not allowed for him at all to accuse a woman. It's not allowed for him, but he will do it. Why? Because she hurt me. And now any man that comes after to view her anyway will not. So it doesn't bring you no benefit whatsoever.
It brings you no benefit.
And it brings you sadness, and now it brings you doubt on any potential. So what do you get from it, Allah?
I feel like the only thing that the youth will benefit from it, and why they do it in the first place, is because they want to fit in. They want to look cool, which is the biggest thing. When you're young, I mean, we all went through that phase.
And the desire.
Cool. And the desire at the same time. But I'm not married or anything like that, inshallah, very soon. Lakin, I feel like, from what I heard, and I'm 100% sure, the longer you wait, even if it takes you years, of course, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you are able to, marry young. But the longer you wait for that halal relationship, the more sweeter it becomes. I've never tried it. I've never tried it.
See your experience?
No, it's not even that.
But you can know from anything.
From anything. You feel it, yeah. Like,
but this is instant gratification. And then, exactly. It's something temporary. It's short term.
People who want this, they lack intelligence. I'm going to be honest.
Exactly.
Like the one who wants it now. I feel like they did a study. I hear from one of them, Mashaykh, where they gave like kids like candy, one piece each. And he said like whoever waits for I think like 30 minutes or something, we'll double it for him. And they followed these kids for a span of I think 10 years, or 15 years, or 20 years, I forgot the number. The ones who took the Instagram, who ate the one, and they didn't wait for the next one, they ended up doing worse in their life. Worse in their life. Like because of, they lack the intelligence to say that, oh, if I wait, I will get double the pleasure. The double the satisfaction. Here, you don't, no, that it's like, it's not even you're holding on to the savory thing.
Yeah.
After you get bored of it, you just throw it away. What they do to each other.
You know? I see like this should be the mentality of every single Muslim. Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification.
And you have to for everything, whether it's for women, whether it's you trying to achieve Jannah, whatever it is, you have to have this. And yeah, I'm gonna save this for right now to get the gratification later, right? SubhanAllah. And this is also like going back to the point Mujah said. This is the thing that kind of beautifies the relationships, halal relationships. Like when you stay away from women, you don't talk to women, you're just doing your own thing. You're trying to get closer to Allah. You're trying to achieve Jannah. Then slowly into like SubhanAllah, like it's kind of. and you just, like you can feel it before, like Moses said, we're all not married, inshallah soon, but you can just sense it.
Speak for yourself, first of all.
Like you can still, you can still feel that, it's still sweeter, than doing this other, the haram. And subhanAllah, even when it's haram, it's like, bro, this woman that you're talking to, this woman you're talking to, 2 weeks later, she could just find another man and just be with her. Like, it's so,
if she's talking to you, what makes you think she's not talking to someone else? While she talks to you, maybe she has 3 other guys on her phone.
Yeah, subhanAllah. The thing that makes it beautiful is like when the woman is yours, and nobody talks to her, nobody can see her, the stuff like this. This is kind of makes it much beautiful.
And vice versa.
And not only that, like even when we think about it, when I think about it, subhanAllah, zina, inshallah, may Allah save us from it. It's something like we were talking about. It's something it's very short. It's for a short time. Then afterwards, you feel horrible about it, right? Because it's any haram relationship, not only zina, but any haram relationship, it's looked down upon in the Muslim society, at least. They can look at the opposite. Look at the when it's a halal relationship, everybody comes together. There's a whole celebration, subhanallah. Even when after you get married, inshallah, you have kids. It's a big thing, Imagine having kids through zina. How are you gonna look into society? Yeah. Not only that, but how are you gonna look in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Like it's a when you do it the halal way, everything just becomes more sweeter. Everything when you get kids, it's more sweeter. The celebration itself, the marriage celebration, is a lot more sweeter. So
I think since I think the time is running, shall we try to wrap it up and then I think we'll wrap it up there.
We have to make part 2.
We're gonna make part 2. Yeah,
that was quick.
To be honest,
we gotta make part 2.
Was it like 30 minutes?
Yeah. Anything else to say? Well, you didn't barely talk.
I'll say this: anything you leave off for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will replace it with something better. So if you don't want to break up with this girl because she's pretty, then know that there's a billion more pretty girls than this person, right? And perhaps there might be even more righteous than the person that you want right now, right? And I doubt that you're having a haram relationship with a righteous girl, or vice versa, right? So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us and protect us from this disgusting sin.
I mean, wallahi, just to piggyback off what Khaya said, with anything, when you delay something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you find better. For something simple, like for example, going to the gym. Yes, when you go to the gym, you're working out. During that specific time, you're in pain, you're sweating, you're tired, whatever it is. But you know that later on, a couple months, couple years, you're gonna have a good result. That's where your goal is. So think about your goal, and don't be in need of the fast, quick gratification, and trying to get to that goal quicker through haram means. Like, you have to focus on the goal, stay away from the instant gratifications, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make your life a lot sweeter and a lot better, inshallah.
Inshallah. I think we're gonna end it off over there, inshallah. All my people, inshallah, stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, and comment, and let us know, inshallah, whatever type of episodes y'all want, any topics, let us know, inshallah.
Can't forget the dua.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.